Okay, hey y'all, what's up? It's been a minute. First off, not gonna lie, this is take two. Take one, my new microphone wasn't working, but I think I got it connected now. And second off, this is gonna be a long video because I have got some catching up to do. So let's get right into it. So first off, super excited to announce this past weekend was the opening of Grayscale, which was a curated art show in the Woodlands at the Artist Gallery. And of that show, there were 400 art pieces that were submitted from 77 different Texas artists. And of those artists, it was narrowed down to 30. And of those 30, I won first place. I was so excited. Like, this is my first, but also at a gallery, which I'm super excited about. I am going to, and my takeaway from this is just enjoy this win. It's been a long time coming, and I've had a lot of various challenges that came and built up to it. And I want to talk about those real quick, not to acknowledge them because I want to live in the win, but just to remind artists, particularly myself, that, push through these moments, push through these dark moments, because the light at the end of all of that is often great. It's what keeps us going. It's what carries us through. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. Some of you may know I've been participating in a group called Tenacious Artists, and we're a group of 10 artists that we've come together because we had a prior art show that just did not go very well at all. And in short, that was the art show where I had produced these beautiful ladies behind me, my Midnight Marauders. And unfortunately, they a week out were declined. So I'm a week out from this event, and it sucked because I was literally scrambling, trying to figure out what to do. I had painted Barbies with stripes on them so I could hang them from a table and from some kind of fish wire so they would look like they're suspended. And it was a big women's empowerment theme kind of going on there. And the show was, multisensory. So obviously the table could be touched, but the art can't. And so working up towards that for several weeks to get to 1 week before the show and the curator tell me, unfortunately, these are too sexy, was deflating, to say the least. I was frustrated, and I was, what I learned from that moment was, at that point, I should have just said no. I should have just said, well, if I can't bring the art that represents me, then I'm out. And so instead, I found myself kind of pushed into a corner and made some bad decisions where I had an art piece that actually was inspired by another artist that was sent to me from several of my friends. A lot of my friends saw a reel and they were like, this is crazy. You could totally do this. This is amazing. And I was like, yeah, I could totally do that. But because I was in a rut, I was like, you know what, for study and to test some things out, I'm going to replicate this and, of course, do it in my own way. By no means at all did my piece come out looking like the piece that they had sent to me at all. So, and eventually I ended up kind of creating more of like a dot type of scheme that I put some album words over, again, tying it to music because it's one of my things. But so either way, the point was, it got me out of my rut. I got to test some things. I got to try clear caulk. I got to try a very large size panel of wood. And so I, was in that phase where I was testing, which literally got me to creating again. And so thankful for that. I'm thankful for the ability to do that, which I think is the purpose of study in a lot of cases, or of replicating, or of seeing a picture of the Mona Lisa and then trying to do my version of it. It's not that I'm stealing that piece. It's that I am working through studying and doing things in my way. So I say all of that because it happens all over the art world. Lots of artists do it. And to be completely honest, nothing is new. Like, let's just be real. Anything you've seen, someone has done it somewhere at some point at some time. Anyway, all that to say, there was a group text that went, and the previous curator for the other show where my art was changed, or my theme was denied and changed, sent a text out and basically said, you are amongst a fraud and one of you is a fraud. So I started searching. I was like, who is it? Like, who could it possibly be? All these artists they're good friends. They're all original. They're all making different things I've never seen before. So who on earth could he be talking about? And then come to find out, I was like, wait a minute. I think he's talking about me. And I was baffled because in my text and in my posts, I put on there, like, this is an inspiration post. Like, I got this from someone and tagged that person. So anyway, it threw me down another hole. Like it threw me into a hole of, well, wow, like, am I actually a fraud? And talk about not being able to create when you're not feeling great is definitely like a real thing. So anyway, all that to say, my initial intentions for that piece were to create over it anyway. That's exactly what this is right here. It's me working over that piece and actually putting together what I think this piece was intended for in the first place. What I learned from that instance was, again, just to say no. Let them find someone to fill that space or find another artist in that time frame. But if it's not what I do, I've just got to say no. Anyway, in a window of complete funk, absolutely hated it. And of course, then this show at the Artist Gallery was coming up, and I was super excited because I had submitted 6 pieces for that, which included the lovely ladies behind me. And then, of course, It Could All Be So Simple, which a lot of you refer to as the Lauryn Hill piece. Of all of them, only It Could All Be So Simple was accepted, and that's fine. Honestly, I was a little thrown off by that because I was like, well, it's grayscale, but maybe because they're all big, like there's a lot of things I just didn't think about. Maybe they didn't resonate, whatever the case might be. Like I said, there were 400 pieces submitted, so to have one in there, super excited about. But anyway, so all of that to say, in that moment of darkness, to go to grayscale and to win that, to get first place, was just the light that I needed. It was the moment that I needed. It was the reassurance that I needed. It was the reminder that I needed, to create for me, to create what feels right for me, and to do for me. And I say all of that because from that, I got a lot of praise from a lot of other artists, and it amazed me because they were saying things like, you know what, this is your moment, enjoy it. Don't think about that past situation. This is what's to come, or what was to come from it. And this is proof that what you're doing, it's right. It's you, and you are valid. You are deserving. So in addition to all of that, someone else had mentioned to enjoy the win. And I thought that was the best advice ever. So instead of focusing, which I feel like in our society, we're definitely pressured a lot of times to do, on what's next, what else can I create, what next show can I be in, I'm just going to enjoy this win. I'm going to just revel in it for a little bit and take some time to appreciate it, just as we took time to feel like we were imposters, or just like we take time to feel down or to feel like we can't create. I feel like it's just as important to take time and acknowledge our wins and to be in that moment. So anyway, wanted to share those updates because that was a huge art therapy couple of months for me. But it's motivational. It's inspiring for myself, like to know and to feel validated. And so not to say that a gallery's or a curator's acceptance of your art validates you, because let me tell you, there were many shows I've submitted to that I haven't been accepted, or accepted and won nothing. And so, but to finally get to that one, it's just genuinely appreciated. I'm humbled and couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity. Want to say thanks to all the friends who came out. Love all the notes and messages and texts that I get saying that, wish I could be there. Hopefully I'll catch you next time. And absolutely, don't ever worry about it. When I get to a show, sometimes I'm a little bit consumed with everything that's going on. And so it is hard to spend time with the people that are there to support me. But those that were able to come, I really, really do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to, when it's time, after I've enjoyed this win, sharing my next and upcoming events, and looking forward to seeing what else this year has to bring. So thank you all again. If you're an artist and you're watching, enjoy your wins.